Good afternoon. Today is March 21st, 2025. I'm Sydney Burke.
And I'm Masekian. Welcome to iPulse Live. We're starting today with a focus on jobs.
It's job hunting season in the college world. That includes Lynn University. Allison Wallace checked in on the communications fair on campus and talked with one career expert.
Lynn University's annual career fair drew in a massive crowd this year. Lots of students were dressed to impress with loads of excitement to get a jump start in their careers. I spoke to students and companies about their time at the event.
What motivated you to come to the career fair tonight?
I talked to Sam Gallo a lot about this career fair and all the companies that would come and the opportunities, and it was exactly what I needed. And as a freshman, it just makes me so enthusiastic about getting in the job market.
I had no expectations going into it. I just thought there would be companies here and I'd get to talk to them. I didn't think there would be so many people coming so early. And I haven't applied to anything yet, but I collected a bunch of applications and business cards and stuff, so I will get to that as soon as I get home.
How do you think your education at Lynn has prepared you for today's career fair?
Every day in the classroom, we learn new skills, and these skills we can apply directly to our jobs and what we want to do in the future. So everything that I learn, I know how to apply it in my everyday life or job, so that's very cool.
It's definitely helped me with the public speaking. I took a lot of speech classes in high school, so kind of was already on the upper end of that, but we do so many presentations at Lynn that, you kind of have to get used to it. So I think it's definitely helped me prepare for networking.
News organizations such as WPTV NBC, WPBF ABC in West Palm, and WSVN Channel 7 in Miami were featured at the event. Have you guys attended Lynn's career fair before, and what is your mission to be here tonight?
So my mission is to help young people get jobs. Lynn University's kids are the best prepared kids of all the colleges across the county. The kids come with good resumes, good skills, they know how to present themselves. I love coming to this job fair every year.
Best of luck to those applying to the internships this year. I'm Allison Wallace reporting for iPulse News.
You can hardly talk about jobs anymore without talking about AI and its growing impact on job seekers. Our iPulse Extra later in our streamcast focuses on those challenges with Alan Krowitz. He's the CEO of InfoStream and a longtime computer expert.
Every industry. I don't think there's a company out there in the world right now that's not either totally terrified of what it's changing or totally excited about it or wondering what direction it's going to take it into. But it's one of the largest shakeups maybe in the last 100 years of employment and companies worldwide.
We talk about jobs and the AI future, but today we're also reminded that no AI can ever replace the love, commitment, and support for students and their life dreams. Delaney Smith brings us that story.
Elaine Wold, age 97, left us late last week, but her spirit will forever remain. Today, we take a moment to honor a remarkable woman whose generosity, vision, and unwavering support left a lasting mark on Lynn University. She never sought recognition, yet her generosity impacted countless lives. She turned compassion into action, dreams into reality. Elaine was a true champion of the future of our students. She believed in lifting others through the power of education and the arts. Her legacy will forever echo in the halls, theaters, and hearts that she touched. Today, we honor not just her gifts, but the grace, kindness, and lasting imprint she left on all of us. Thank you, Elaine, for everything.
The Wold means getting the opportunity to do what I love every day and having a space to be creative and just be myself freely with all my colleagues who are also in Lynn Drama with me, and all it means a lot to me. My experience at the Wold has been nothing short of magical, honestly. I've gotten the chance to do, I said it before, what I love every day, and it's priceless to me, honestly. He was the person who allowed me to pursue my passion seriously here at Lynn. Without Elaine, I guess there would be no Crazy for You, there would be no Funny Girl, there would be no 42nd Street. And that's, I don't know, it's just, those are crucial shows that we've done here.
What a beautiful reminder about how one person can make such a profound difference in the course of people's lives. We turn to other news now. The Lynn University Center for Student Involvement hosted Cultural Explosion.
It's an event where students came together to celebrate their diverse cultures through activities like food and dance. Reporter Swanton Gibson Jr. was there.
The Lynn University Center for Student Involvement recently held Cultural Explosion in Elaine's dining room. Numerous students browsed tables, basking in various cultural elements, and participated in activities that captured the essence of each organization. Represented were the Black Student Union, Caribbean Student Organization, Latinos Unidos, South Asian Club, and the Student Impact Leadership Organization. Several members of these organizations participated in a fashion show and dance performances, illustrating their culture through their wardrobes and choreography. Event organizers Tatiana Howard and Amaya Taylor discussed the aim and reception of Cultural Explosion, as well as the support from the Center for Student Involvement.
The aim of this entire event was to showcase all of the cultural organizations here on campus, our cultures, and just to try and educate as well as have some fun with everyone as well. I think it was pretty well received, honestly, between the showcase and the performances that we had. I feel like it really showcased everyone's culture, and everyone had a good time, and the food was great.
CSI gives us full autonomy when it comes to planning the event. They're more of a backbone and a support for us. They give us the resources, they give us the space, they give us the, manpower to kind of set these events up. But as far as the agenda, how things go and how we want to be represented, they give us that autonomy to kind of just express ourselves and have that moment. So I appreciate them so much for that.
What's next on the agenda?
One of our events is a general meeting more so because we do have transitions coming up. So transitions is like everyone has a chance to elect the new e-board for the following year. So that's one of the events that we want a lot of people to come to so that they get a chance to have a say in who's on the e-board and how things go next year.
Bringing immense culture to the heart of Lynn University. Reporting for iPulse News, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
In other Lynn University news, the True to You Club teamed up with the Student Impact Leader Organization to host a guest speaker on friendships. This workshop is one of 4 planned for the spring on campus. I got the opportunity to check it out.
You got a friend in me.
Come on, let's wrangle up the cattle.
When the road looks rough ahead.
You've Got a Friend in Me, a song many of us have heard since we were little that talks about friendships. And who better to talk about friendships than Janelle Henry, a relationship expert. She led a workshop where students had the opportunity to talk about red flags in a friendship and how to go about it.
If a friend is having an experience where they're with people that they are calling friends and they feel alone, it is because they are not real friendships. If you show me your friendships, I can tell you who you are. So definitely having good friends is important because people that we hang around reflects our personalities.
As part of an activity, students were given 4 scenarios and determined how the friendship in the situation was toxic.
So some of the red flags in relationships are the one-sided friendships, the jealous friendships, the ones that are always crossing boundaries or just make us uncomfortable. So within friendships, if we have any of those and they're constant, those are definitely not real friends.
According to Elon University, 79% of college graduates said they met their best friend during their college years.
You've experienced some of your first life experiences together as adults, young adults, so that's more lasting and the things that you care about more.
But according to the Survey Center of American Life, 67% of Americans consider someone they met in their childhood their best friend. Ari Resnick falls under that 67%, with her best friend since childhood, Gabby.
We've been able to bond over the things that have happened in our lives. We can bond over the hard things we've been through. We're very yin and yang. I learn from her a lot. She could strike up a conversation with a wall, and I'm not that person. Being around her kind of brings me out of my shell a little.
Ari had a piece of advice for someone new to college and is scared to reach out and make a friend.
So you have to enjoy your own company, but when you are doing that and when you're being yourself, the right people will kind of gravitate towards you.
Alma Sekieng, reporting for iPulse.
they might feel.
And now for a look at our weather forecast with reporter Noah Barkley. Noah, what can we expect for the weekend ahead?
Hello everybody, my name is Noah Barkley, and the weather this week is looking relatively gray, especially later on in the week. You'll have some rain during your commute on Wednesday, but right now it is looking really clear. There's no rain, there's not even clouds. There's actually a little bit of a chill because it's a little windy and coming off of the ocean. That does cause, of course, some more chill than usual, but any of the rain, if you want to even call it that, it's in the Atlantic Ocean. It's just spotty, it's barely even showers, so it's completely clear down here in South Florida, all of Florida, and even beyond Florida. So it's really a just great time here, great day down here in the southeast. You'll be clear skies today the whole way. And as you'll see on the next radar image, once we get to that Wednesday, there are those showers and even potentially thunderstorms during that morning commute. This is 8 a.m., about 8, 9 a.m. on that Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. It is during their morning commute, so you do have to be very vigilant when you're driving. Do be very careful. It's not going to be pleasant in the morning because there are some of the, as you'll see in the yellow dots right here, that indicates heavier showers. And as you drive more up north, you are going to get more of that. So there is potential for some danger. So I do recommend driving very slow in that morning commute because again, this is 8, 9, maybe going into 9:30. So it's really the heart of the commute. And as you'll see on the 7-day forecast, great day today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, those clouds do start to come in. As you'll see on Wednesday, that is when the rain does pick up. Again, only in that morning, only in the commute. Later on, it is going to really clear up. And then Thursday, it'll be nice and sunny, and it'll be beautiful that day. And I'm Noah Barkley. Thank you very much. Back to you guys.
We have a weather alert bulletin this hour. NBC6 News reports wildfire in southwest Miami-Dade. It has already swelled to 24,000 acres in size and is prompting road closures. We'll keep an eye out on the wildfire there and all the alerts across South Florida.
A focus now on education. The Trump administration is trying to abolish the U.S. Department of Education. Separately, some of the nation's premier universities are feeling the impact of other federal budget cuts.
Reporter Guillermo de Domenico interviewed Federica Kaufman at New York University. She's an undergraduate researcher with a specialty in chemistry. She talked about her worries for the future of science research.
I'm doing research with a PhD student, and he is basically the whole lab's goal is to help create polymers that emulate protein folding behaviors. And if we are able to mimic and use those interactions, we can build upon them and use them for making medicines or making biomaterials. And so I guess that would be the main driving force of our research.
So it's important, right?
I would say it's important, yes. Yeah.
How has you and your community responded to these cuts?
Well, when we first found out about it, it was definitely frustrating, and it was a big shock. People's livelihood depends on the research that they're conducting, so they're trying to get their PhDs, and because of this, they're not able to get their PhDs, finish their PhDs. And I know people that are also applying to schools to get their PhDs, and schools are not accepting students into their grad schools because they don't have money to pay PhD students. So people are really upset.
On March 7th, scientists of New York universities protested against the Trump administration's budget cuts in a march called Stand Up for Science. Kaufman and her fellow researchers attended it.
It was obviously I didn't want to have to do that. I wouldn't say I'm a very politically active person, but I think that not a lot of people understand what a big deal this is.
So it's good that it brought people together, but in a way, isn't there also an atmosphere of fear at this point of going out protesting about this? Was there any concerns about it?
Super big concerns. I think people, they kind of stop being, not that they stop being fearful, but they're there's nothing we can do. People, even the scientists in the highest of places, they didn't even know what was going on. So they were what are we supposed to do?
Do you see any justification for these budget cuts?
Not in science, no. I think that there is probably a better way to handle the administration's issues with wanting to make sure that all the federal money was being placed in real things. I think everyone agrees with that, and that there had to be some like more inspection done on where grants were going. But I think that could have been done and leaving science alone, because any research in science is research that's important.
Thank you very much for this again. This was a very valuable perspective.
No, I'm so happy that I could do this, and I just want to be able to do research. Like, I just want to be able to do my work and not have to be worried about the government controlling that, because they don't know anything about the work that I'm doing. And even if we try to explain it to them, they're not gonna understand because they don't have that scientific background. But just because you don't understand doesn't mean that it's not important.
Tourism is at its peak with an impressive number of visitors flocking to Delray Beach in March.
I can't blame them, Lisette. We have everything you need, from pristine beaches to fine dining. Reporter Erna Delise got the chance to go out into the community and speak with some tourists. Let's see what she found.
The sun and surf on Delray Beach always big attraction for visitors, including spring breakers.
We're from Kentucky, and we came to Delray Beach because it's close to Fort Lauderdale. It's really quiet and nice, and it's been really sunny.
Yeah, it's so pretty out here.
We came here for spring break
And just to get a good tan on.
Yeah, because the ocean and the sand, and it's sunny and warm.
Yep.
Small local businesses say this is one of the busiest times of the year.
We try to sell to local folks as well as visitors to Delray Beach, and that includes spring break visitors. When business is a bit busier than normal because of students' time off, and we try to reach a lot of folks who have various interests. So different artists, different jewelers, different clothiers, different retailers. Many of the vendors, if not all, are local.
Tourism always a key pillar for our local economy, and right now a lot of people like the view. I'm Erna Delise for iPulse.
Today, the live-action remake of Snow White premiered in U.S. theaters. In continuing the trend of Disney re-releasing their classic movies, I sat down with my colleague Guillermo to discuss what we think of these remakes. Let's see what we had to say.
The live action that really bugged me was The Lion King, because it was such an unnecessary movie to make. You know, the 1990s, The Lion King was great. It was perfect. It was an original story. And then Disney all of a sudden was like, you know what? Let's make everything CGI. And they're making the animals with like there's no expression on them. When Simba's father died, it was just like, he was literally like, in the cartoon, it's like, no, it's like all dramatic and everything, and I love that.
The main reason they do this, I mean, at least in my theory, obviously number one, money, but number two is just trying to sort of like get this magic again, I guess.
Right.
Like parents who have watched the original Lion King want to like show their kids, obviously, because like, oh look, Lion King again. Oh, I have to take my child to this. But they don't understand is that they're showing an inferior version of that story. And what's worse is when they try something original with these remakes, and now we're going into the Mulan remake, which was...
It was a hot mess. And let me tell you something. Mulan is my favorite Disney princess ever. Okay, she is such a girl boss, and I love her. That cartoon was my life. Okay, and then I see the movie. I could cry. They ruined it. There's no Mushu. She has superpowers.
The whole story, like you said, you know, she's a girl boss. It's about like
female empowerment.
Yeah. It's
no superpowers.
No, literally. In the live action movie, they just make like, oh no, like she didn't train for anything. She's just naturally talented.
Right. And it's like, you messed up a good cartoon.
I guess our final point
Just
is,
watch the classics.
Yeah. Number one, just watch the classics. We need new things if we want to inspire a new generation, such as these movies inspired us. You know, we always have to, I guess, keep the imagination flowing, and these remakes are anything but imaginative. Anyway, if you do want to watch the Snow White remake, you know, fine. Thank you very much for sticking with us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
All of us have our own stories to tell. Today, we want to introduce you to Tobiah Donadon, a junior at Lynn University. He opens up about his journey with awareness and what inspired him to write a book called ACT. His book stands for Awareness, Conscious Transformation. Reporter Lillian Carrion has his story.
How did that start it off? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it was kind of overwhelming. I started writing the book in December because last year, December 23 on to 24.
Yeah.
That year there, I started writing my book. So it's been a year, and I've been writing the book because I thought that I had something to say. I do not have any experience. I'm pretty much nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just a kid who has and wants to show his perspective on life. I want to share this perspective on life because it helped me, and all of my friends which I've helped always ask me advice, and they're like, okay, why don't you write a book? Every time I talk to you, I learn so much. I feel like I'm going ahead on my life. I'm learning, I'm developing new skills. I'm learning more about myself. On the things that I liked, my perspective, it started more of as a journal, like me just writing down my thoughts.
Yeah.
And now it's 8 chapters. Actually,
Wow.
Yesterday, I wrote it down and sent it to the editor. So now it's in an editorial form. It's being published in August.
Wow.
It's more than 200 pages, and it's being designed and it's being published, and it's going to be out soon. So it goes everything from understanding you, so going from chapter 0 where you look into yourself and who you are to the core,
Yeah.
and then looking into more of spiritual concepts, just such as the universal laws, other concepts that can drive you to have an enriched view of what life is or could be. Yeah.
I love it. Can't wait to read it in August then.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
Thank
this,
you.
really.
Thank you.
This was amazing.
Thank you.
Now for our iPulse Extra, artificial intelligence in the job world. How do we compete with AI for jobs? How do we work with AI? Erna DeLise sat down with Alan Krowitz. He's a computer security expert and CEO of InfoStream.
How do we look at AI in today's world?
Well, it's shaking up everything. It's not just the technology world that's being shaken up. It's every industry. I don't think there's a company out there in the world right now that's not either totally terrified of what it's changing or totally excited about it or wondering what direction it's going to take it into. But it's one of the largest shakeups maybe in the last 100 years of employment and companies worldwide.
So like as college students, what is it going to mean for us like in the job world? How is it going to compete against us?
It's interesting. So a lot of people are really concerned that it's going to take away their jobs. But what a lot of the real experts are saying, the real famous guy from NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, the guy who founded NVIDIA, is really insightful. The guy from OpenAI, Sam Altman, all these guys, what they're saying is the people who can use AI are going to be the real competition. So that college students, if they can get on board with AI, stay in the loop with learning about it, whatever, they're the real threat. So it's not that AI is going to take away jobs, it's people who know how to use AI that are going to take away jobs. So yes, it's a scary time, but if you're a college student out there or whatever, and you learn how to use AI, you have a big leg up. So it's not AI that's the threat, it's the college student that knows AI that is the threat to other people who don't know AI. So I can't emphasize enough. If you're in college right now, you should 100% be trying to learn AI daily, at least weekly. And nothing hard. There's little things you can do just to stay in the loop and to learn about it, and that are pretty simple and easy that will give you a big leg up on everybody else out there when it comes to looking for a job.
So again, I know you already stated like advice, but like what other advice would you give young people
Mostly that. So AI is involved with everything. Another piece of advice I give to people who are younger, leaving college, looking to, get into the marketplace and things like that is, I look at thousands of resumes. I do it all the time. And what's kind of shocking is 99% are the same thing. So I look at a gajillion resumes. They're all the same thing. They don't stand out. And there's that 1% that has something different that's noticeable on a resume, or when you're looking at all these candidates, you go numb. I know there are people, that are scared, looking to make a career, that are just getting started, and it's hard to forget that when you're looking at sheets of paper and emails that you're getting and applications that you're getting. But they're all the same. So you have no choice but to, chuck them into two piles, ones that I just can't look at or ones that maybe make it to the next round. So if you stand out at all, you move right to the top of the pile. So in my world, there's just a couple little things that if you just make a little bit of extra effort, you go right to the top of the pile. AI is one of them. If I'm looking at 100 candidates and one of them has shown that, hey, look, I'm using this to be better than everybody else, I've learned something, I'm taking an extra step, you go right into the pile, that goes to the next round, okay? If you have any kind of certifications, any kind of special skills, because again, everybody leaving school has the same qualifications, the same skills. They all think that they're doing something special, but in most cases, everybody's at the same level. So if you do something extra that nobody else is doing, it tends to jump off the page. Because when I'm looking at 100 resumes, I'm not studying your resume for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm looking at it for 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and making a decision to put it in the pile like I'm not interested, or that can make it to the next round. So if you can do anything extra, you go into that next round pile.
So what are your final thoughts?
AI is a biggie. And I think people get that and they go into one of two camps. It's too much for me. I'm not a technical nerd. I'm not going to do this, whatever. Or God, I hope it doesn't take my job. But you don't have to be that person. You can be a creative person. You can be a biologist, a journalist, whatever you want to do in life. But every day, just play a little bit. Get a couple accounts for a different AI. There's a ton of great free ones out there. And even ask it, what can I learn about you? You can type a little prompt. Teach me something I don't know about how to use you. Read something once a week online. How do I use AI better? Subscribe to an Instagram page that talks about AI tips. Whatever it is. Just if you could learn a little bit every day can put you way ahead of everybody else out there. There's that famous joke where they say, what do you do if a bear is chasing you? Do you have to run faster than the bear? Nope. You have to run faster than your friend. So if you can be a little bit better than everybody else out there, you're going to come out ahead. You don't have to be an AI expert, but are you a little bit better than everybody else out there? You'll be in great shape.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to me about AI and jobs.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today for our live broadcast.
Stay tuned for our broadcast next week, which is Thursday, instead of our usual Friday broadcasts. Have a wonderful weekend.